As part of the Chancellor's autumn statement, there's going to be a shake-up in job centres and back to work initiatives. So, anybody who's been out of work for 2 years and hasn't been actively looking for work or hasn't done any work will be made to do some sort of work experience things. It's based on the idea that 300,000 people have been unemployed for over a year since the pandemic, and there's plenty of there's over 1 million vacancies, and so therefore job centres are going to help claimants struggling to find work. Well, that's always been an issue, surely. That's always been something that they've apparently been doing. But now I think anybody who doesn't do a work experience thing will have their universal credit stopped. It seems a little bit dramatic. And digital tools apparently are going to be used to track attendance at job fairs, interviews, under a much more aggressive system, a tougher sanctions regime. Our message, says Mel Stride, who's the Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, is clear. If you are fit, if you refuse to work, if you are taking taxpayers for a ride, we will take your benefits away. Now, Labour, in the meantime, has put its focus, its back-to-work focus, on the NHS waiting lists. And in the year since January, 500,000 have been added to the waiting list, so it's now at 7.8 million. And the party has pledged to provide £1.1 billion to be paid by abolishing non-dom tax status. So I'm sure Rishi's wife is happy that she got in with that one in time. The Labour Party are going to recruit 8,500 more mental health professionals. From where? Because surely, if they've already been trained, then they're hanging around ready to do their job. If they haven't already been trained, it's going to take the length of a parliament to actually get them trained and get them into work. So I don't quite understand where these 8,500 new mental health professionals are going to come from. And I also don't quite understand how even the injection of £1.1 billion into the NHS is going to provide 2 million more operations when most of the NHS staff are struggling to do what they do at the moment. So how exactly is an extra bundle of money going to sort out the waiting list? I don't see that without extra staff. Where are they going to come from? I don't see that without extra staff the NHS can in fact produce more operations, more time. So both this and I think the government's plan to penalise people who don't want to do work experience is sort of doomed. Both these plans are doomed. What we need is to deal with the cost of living. What we need is to make sure the people who are already employed are paid as much as we possibly can pay them for the jobs that they are doing, particularly the important jobs that they are doing, and to make sure that people feel valued, and then to recruit people to these much higher paid jobs, but simply to recruit people for mental health, or simply to demand that people go and do work experience in jobs that they may not be suited to. This isn't going to do anything either to reduce the amount of unemployed. Actually, the amount of unemployed is very small, the smallest it's been for years. What we need to do is to make the people who are actually employed feel more wanted and more driven to succeed. And we're going to have more disability tests, undoubtedly, and see whether or not people qualify. So once again, it only seems to have been about a year or two since I remember various people phoning me up in agony, telling me that they've got a bundle of paperwork to get through in order to re-qualify for their disability allowance. And in fact, one or two people brought that to me, and it really was quite a substantial bundle, and threw people into major depression. I don't understand why. I don't understand what that achieves. We need to make people feel valued. If we make people valued, then probably they're not going to strike so much, and probably we're going to get more done.